Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video, and in this one I'm doing a single page spread in the small craft journal and I'm just drawing a face. You can see here I'm just checking proportions and just trying to make sure that it kind of looks right. Yeah, it's very easy to get the eyes in the wrong place, and if you're drawing faces is something that you find difficult, I do sell a stencil called the face-based stencil, which has got all those proportions already kind of in place for you, and the face actually looks very much like this one that I'm drawing today. So once I've sketched it out in pencil, I'm then drawing over with a Posca pen. The reason for that is that I can then add colour over the top. I'll still be able to see the lines, and then I can pull those lines back out again after. So I haven't used any collage paper to start off with. I'm just drawing straight onto the page. There's no gesso on the page either. I'm going to kind of build the page around this face. So adding this on the left hand side, that kind of jaunty angle, and then I'm going to write my words on the space that's left. So yeah, just filling in the facial features, getting those kind of in place so I can see what I'm working with. And then I'm using a black gel pen just to add in some shadow. And I'm just kind of doing this by adding in some lines. There are lots of artists that are really, really good at this. And if any of you have come across Michelle Logan on Instagram, she's fabulous at this. Her faces are really awesome. Go and check her out. And obviously Dina's faces are just incredible. My faces are developing, and I think it's that thing of practicing and finding your style. I still don't practice enough. I really ought to practice faces every day. I think it's that thing, if you want to get better, you have to find time, put in the time and the effort into practicing, and maybe that's what I need to do. But anyway, I was quite happy with this face, I think, as much as you can be. Yeah, so I started off by adding that shading onto the face, knowing that I was going to do a bit more, and then I'm going to add some colour into the background. So this is carnation, although it does look white on the video, it is carnation. I'm going to do a little bit of an ombre on this background that you can see. So I'm adding some colour around the face, and then I'm going to bring a darker pink at the bottom and kind of blend those two bits together where they meet. So then I'm using my favourite pink from Amsterdam Acrylic, the permanent red violet light. Didn't wash my brush in between, so I've still got some of the carnation on there, and you can see that's kind of pulling up through that lovely pink, and I'm just blending those two colours together. Not worrying too much about a smooth transition between the two. I kind of quite like that. So then I'm just adding a little bit of colour into the eyes. I'm going to pop in the catch light as well, and you'll see that will just bring those eyes to life a little bit more, a little bit less dead, which is good. Some nice catches of light as well, which I do come back and do as well. I think I've also, on my glass mat, I have scribbled with my Stabilo all pencil and then added some water to it. And I'm just picking up that pigment and pulling it onto my page. So at the moment that looks quite dark, and that is mostly because the craft is wet. As it dries, it will fade a little bit. And really I'm just looking to bring a little bit of shadow onto the face. I'm not trying to get too caught up in making it completely accurate, just giving an idea of where the darker places would be. I don't claim to be an expert in drawing faces at all. And for me, sometimes it's just about having that play and just getting that human element onto a journal page. Sometimes you most definitely want a face on your journal page, and some of those times, you know, I'll use an image or a collage image from someone else, or I'll draw one myself. So then, in a slightly crazy turn of events, I'm stamping over the top of it using a text stamp. I think just bringing another layer into my image, and here I'm adding in some very bright catch lights onto the face where the light would be catching, and then I'm thinking, okay, let's go proper quirky and put some really funky cheeks in which I'm drawing in now. And then I'm going to add some colour to those as well. Obviously, nobody goes around with giant circles of pink on their face, but, you know, this isn't a lifelike face. This is a representation, so hence the pink cheeks. And I know they divide opinion as well. Lots of people don't like them. I do. So that's why they're there. And then I'm using this stencil. This is the Mantra stencil from Dina. I'm not sure whether you can still get hold of this or not. It is one of my favourite stencils. And I've just added a little bit of stenciling onto that background. And then I'm using my dotty stamp, of course. You'd be expecting to see me get that out. Going in with a Stabilo all pencil now and just bringing a little bit more shading to the face. Using my finger just to smudge that out a little bit and soften those lines. And then I think I kind of got to a point where I was like, okay, that face is all right. I'm quite happy with that. It's not, you know, lots of people would think it wasn't accurate enough, but it's good enough for me, and this is my journal, so that's okay. So I'm adding more lines to the hair. Lots of you will have seen me draw faces so many times, and I think you know how I feel about them. Close enough is good enough for me. Popping a heart on. I do like to use hearts on my journal pages. They appear quite often. I don't make a conscious decision to put them there. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, look, I've added more hearts. And then I am adding my words. So recently somebody said to me that one of the things they really like about my journal pages is that they reflect what's going on in my life. And this certainly does. I think more often than not, I will search for quotes online that reflect what is going on, how I feel. And I'm not claiming that I have a life full of struggles, but obviously relative to other people who have big struggles, I do have struggles. There are things that I worry about. I am a big worrier. And I think sometimes trying to turn that on its head and think, okay, these struggles are going to make me stronger. I will grow through these experiences. Is trying to have that positive outlook, and that's what I'm trying to do through my journaling and spending that time reflecting on the things that are bothering me or the reasons that have brought me to my art journal. It's a good thing to do. So often my quotes will reflect what's going on in my life. In fact, more often than not, they will. And then just to finish off the page, I am just using one of my cardboard tubes just to add some circles to the page as well. Different sizes, just to bring a little bit more contrast. And then finishing off with some splatters because there's a little bit of white paint left on my glass mat. And who doesn't love a splatter? My iPad doesn't love a splatter, that's for sure. Yeah. And that is this page done. So drawing faces, lots of fun, something that you need to practice if it's something you want to become very proficient at. And I'm listening to that myself. I'm going to try and practice a bit more. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video and I hope to see you again soon.